G'day folks, welcome back to another user request for technical analysis. We're looking at NVIDIA and the Euro-British pound currency pair. Before we go there, let's look at a very simple trading strategy. We look at trading with the higher time frame direction. So if you're trading on the daily time frame, we trade in the direction of the weekly. Or if you're trading on the intraday, like the 1 hour, 15 minute or 2 hour, etc., we trade on the direction of the daily trend. Step 2, you wait for a CCI 150 fresh breakout from the moving averages, and I'll go through some examples of this. And to close the trade, we wait for that CCI 150 to enter back into those moving averages, whether it's on the CCI 150 or the price moving averages. And if you wish to learn how to draw these indicators on your own software, charting software, there's a link in the description below to follow that video. So this analysis is courtesy of one of my viewers, asked about the Euro-British pound and also NVIDIA, and I'll go through the logic. Now, I'm not suggesting you buy any of these or go short any of these, just the analysis that we should be using to get better understanding and a better probability of trading success. So here we look at the monthly, the weekly and the daily, and the CCI 150 is broken below the moving averages on the monthly, and that's giving us a bearish signal. You notice also the price is broken below those moving average bands, and again these indicators are attached in the description below in that video. On the weekly, it's bearish, broken below both the moving averages, and on the daily it was bearish, but notice it's broken up into that moving average band. So if you were going short during this period, you would have closed out your trade on that break into that moving average band of the CCI 150. That's assuming you're trading in the direction of the weekly on the daily time frame. If you're trading in the direction of the intraday on the 1 hour, for example, I've got the 1 hour here. You can apply any other time frame on intraday here yourself, like the 2 hour, the 15 minute, etc. But you always trade in the direction of the higher time frame. So here we've got the daily time frame as a reference. So you can see here, ideally, when it broke below there, a fresh breakout on the daily, below the moving averages, and also the CCI 150, that's where you take the respective short trade on the 1 hour time frame, for example. Now notice here the price started falling off, but here you'll notice the CCI broke up and started giving us a divergence, and that continued until such time at this point here when the price started to bounce. Now you possibly would have gotten out of the trade. If you entered up here, you would have gotten out of the trade when it enters into the moving averages here, for example, and re-enter there. But again, that would have been a risky trade, but because of this bullish divergence. So always respect these divergence, and 90% of the time they do work. Now in terms of where they retrace to, I always choose the minimum retrace level. I don't trade these, by the way. I don't trade the divergence. I always trade in the direction of the higher time frame, as I said, but I use these divergences and an area to look out to get out of the trade. So if I was going short during this period and I started seeing this, that would have been an early warning signal to get out of it once you see it break higher. Now in this case, it broke up, hit the 38% Fibonacci retracement, and I've drawn the Fibonacci range between that peak up there down to this one, and you can take it to the more recent high before the divergence started. You could have taken it to that point there, but it wouldn't have made much difference in this case, so I've just taken it to that point. Here it's gone up to the 38% level, and it's actually stabilized around the 38% level, and it looks like it might be moving further to the downside. So that divergence has played out, that bullish divergence, and if that breaks to the downside on the daily chart, then we're going to see this break to the downside as well on the hourly chart, and that's where you take short trades. So that was Euro-British pound currency pairs. Now for those that are trading shares, this is NVIDIA, and this is showing us the monthly, still bullish on the CCI 150, but notice we've got a pretty strong downtrend on the CCI 150, a bearish divergence versus higher highs on the price. Now notice the price is still rising. Now on the weekly, we do have a divergence here as well. You'll notice here between that peak, that high and that high on the price, we've on the same level, we've got lower highs on the CCI, so that's a bearish divergence. So that's applied on the monthly as well as the weekly. Now they don't always align on the different time frames, but in this case they are. And on the daily as well, we've got another bearish divergence here versus those highs and those highs. Now again, if you're going long here, you'd want to start preparing to exit the trade. And I'd probably wait for it to break into this moving average range on the price, in this case, up here. So it'll probably start falling off in the coming days possibly. And this is an early warning sign showing us there's a bearish divergence on all three time frames. Now, even though you might be trading on the daily time frame on shares, and this NVIDIA is an example, I still look at the hourly time frame. So I've got here the daily time frame as a reference. So let's assuming you're still in a trade and long on this one. On the hourly time frame, we've also got another bearish divergence here. So again, if I saw that break into that moving average band on the hourly, during the trade, when a trade opens, I'd probably exit the trade on this one as well, and probably wait for a new break above on the smaller time frame if you're watching it during the day, like it did back here. But again, a bit risky, because if you enter a new trade here, and the price might start falling off, because remember, we've got going back to these charts, we've got a bearish divergence on the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, and they don't always align as neatly as that, and also on the hourly. So again, just be very careful about going long on NVIDIA, and be prepared to exit as soon as you see a weakening, especially if it breaks on the daily. If it breaks in this moving average range, you can get out on the daily. Probably a bit premature to do it on the 1 hour time frame, but in this case, I'd look at it on the daily, especially if I was going to exit this trade. So hopefully you got value out of that video. Thanks for the users for suggesting that as a review. Again, I'm not suggesting you buy these or get out of the trade if you're long already in them, in this case for NVIDIA, but just use it as some level of knowledge that you can improve your probability of success in trading. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.